Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Miss Grace and welcome back to my English YouTube channel. Today, as promised, I'm going to teach you how to actually write a good story in preparation for your upcoming exam for SPM. Let's start. We are going to look at the slideshow now. For your information, you have familiarized yourself with the 5 sentence techniques that I have taught you in the last video. The 5 sentence techniques are as below. Number 1, who, do, what, where, when. There is, are, what, in, at, on, where. There are many types of what. For example, there are what, and what. Number 4, we must or we must not. Number 5, this is because, so that. So, once you have already mastered all these sentence techniques, now is the time for you to actually learn how to write a good story using the 5 sentence techniques. We are going to use the SPM actual exam questions from the year of 2019 to help you to see how to write a good story. Let's look at the exam questions now. So here are your exam questions. Section B is continuous writing, 50 marks. So remember people, if you want to pass or you want to get an A, this section is extremely important for you. Write a composition of about 350 words on one of the following questions. Number 1. If you had a chance to be someone else, who would you choose to be? Explain what would be good about being that person and what might be difficult. So this is actually a question that you can choose if you are not confident in writing a story. But I'm going to tell you why is it that writing a story is much beneficial for your marks in the video later on. Continue on. Number 2, modern inventions have made our lives much too complicated. Things used to be a lot simpler in the past. How far do you agree? Explain why. So this type of essay questions, it wants you to give your points and to provide your arguments on your side, whether you agree or disagree. Now, this is a more tricky question and it requires a higher level English proficiency. If you were to write this kind of question, you have to make sure that first, your points are good, your points are valid, you have very strong elaborations and examples. Number 2, your language needs to be very mantap. Oh, very mantap means very good. Your language needs to be exceptionally well for you to be able to deliver your points in the way that you want to get your message across. So for this type of question, I would recommend for students with better English proficiency. Now, number 3. A story. Write a story about 2 people who had an argument because one of them had lost a mobile phone. End your story with, and they both realized how foolish they had been. Now, this kind of question, it has set a condition and the examiners are going to want to see that in your essay, in your story, that is, you fulfill this kind of condition. There are 2 people who had an argument, meaning they actually fight. They had a dissatisfactory exchange in between the 2 of them, and one of them had lost a mobile phone. So what happened next? What happened on the day that it happened? This incident took place. So all of this is left to your imagination and your creativity to deliver it. Now, writing a story had always been the first choice for students with a little bit of lower English proficiency. This is because there are certain sentences that you can actually use for different point of view and for different scenarios and for different question types. So I will share with you the different sentences that are applicable for the different questions later on. And number 4, Which do you think is more important, money or health? Compare the two and decide if one is more important than the other and give your reasons. Now, number 4 is similar to number 2. You will need to have a better English in order to deliver your points in a more fluent and accurate manner. So I will only suggest this to students with better English proficiency. Number 5, write about the day you first met your best friend. So this is a recount. This is sort of like a story, but it is in past tense as well. So there are similarities here. Describe where you were, okay, the place, the location, and how you began talking to each other. Explain how your friendship has developed since that time. So you can actually use several scenarios or several stories to take the point, to take out the theme of the whole recount, which is friendship, the friendship between you and your best friends. So this is sort of like a story. So you can also opt for this option. Do you understand? So now let's take a look. If I were the student, if I were you, those students who are actually sitting for examinations, I would actually go for either number 3, write a story with 2 people, or number 5, write the day that you first met your best friend and explain how your friendship has developed since that time. Because friendship has always been something that is easy, and the emotions that you have to describe in that kind of question is always something that is a little bit more positive. So on a positive note, you will have more things to actually write about. The different emotions, the different sceneries, you can actually explain. So let me use BM to explain to you. Cerita adalah jenis karangan yang paling senang untuk anda dapat markah. Bukan maksudnya kamu kalau BM tak bagus ataupun BI tak bagus, kamu tak boleh guna, kamu tak boleh tulis cerita lain, kamu tak boleh pilih soalan lain. Boleh, cuma ada beberapa format, ada beberapa ayat yang anda boleh guna pakai dalam semua jenis soalan. Kalaulah anda tahu jenis-jenis ayat itu, maka kalau kamu tengok ada soalan, kamu boleh guna pakailah ayat yang sama supaya anda ada markah yang lebih tinggi. Compare to you, kalau kamu jawab soalan 4, which do you think is more important, money or health? Lepas tu semua ayat kamu salah, semua poin salah, lepas tu kamu putus asa saja, kamu tulis tua perenggan, lepas tu sudah habis. Apa gunanya? Okay, understand or not? So better for you to write a story, walaupun bahasa rojak, walaupun bahasanya sangat teruk, tapi kamu habiskan story itu, kamu dapat markah juga. You will get your marks as well. So let's take the easy way out. Okay, so let's start and write the question number 5, which I think is a little bit easier for you because of the positive emotion and the description of the people that you can actually use for this essay. Okay, so I'm going to share with you in the description box below these 2 documents. There are 2 documents here. There is this document, Sentences to Describe a Person's Emotions, as prepared by me 6 years back, 2015. Alright, I know I had a class of students who are all very good at what they were doing, so they actually motivated me to prepare more things and more materials for them in order to help them to get better marks in English. So I will talk about them in my future videos to come, maybe story time with Miss Grace. So let's start and look at the first document here, Sentences to Describe a Person's Emotion. So for you guys, untuk kamu orang, for you guys, you have usually a normal human being. We usually only have these 10 common emotions. We have happy emotions, sad, angry, afraid, excited, nervous, shocked, surprised, pain, embarrassed, proud, angry. So for hungry or tired. So all of these emotions, you can actually use some similar sentences to actually describe the emotions. So I have actually make it a little bit easier for you guys, because for each emotion there are only like 5 sentences. From these 5 sentences, you can actually choose one that you like, the one that you want to memorize. Yes, memorize. Kamu kena hafal, okay? SPM, okay? Bukan, ujian dalaman. You have to memorize the one sentence that is the easiest for you to memorize. So in the exam, kalau ujian datang, kamu tengok, okay, cerita, apakah saya insert elemen-elemen ataupun senario yang gembira, emosi gembira, ayat yang huraikan emosi gembira ini ke dalam esei saya. Kalau tak, gunakanlah yang kamu hafal itu, the one sentence. Do you understand? So now let's look at the sentences here. For happy, you have 5 sentences. She bounced, lompat-lompat, she bounced into the room and lit up the whole vicinity with a joyous glow on her face. Kalau tak dapat nak hafal panjang gila, oh my god, Miss Grace, so long. Okay, fine. You can just say she bounced into the room and smiled. Okay, just adapt the sentence, edit the sentence a little bit so that you can at least have some better vocabularies for you to use. Or you can use number 2. He was over the moon when he heard the good news. She was floating on air when her teacher praised her. They were saturated with happiness. Tears of joy. Oh my god, this is so much used. This is so much used. This is so heavily used by people from all across the country, from all walks of life. Tears of joy stream down my cheeks. You can memorize this. Kan kamu tukarlah. Kalau kamu nervous ataupun kamu sedih, sad, right? You just change the word joy. You say tears of sadness streamed down my cheeks. Oh my god, so sad. No problem. Okay, so let's talk about sad now. Tears welled out in her eyes and began rolling down her cheeks like rivulets bursting through the door. And then we have angry, and then you have afraid or fearful, you have excitement or nervous. I was so excited that I could hardly sleep. His heart pounded in excitement as he raced down the park. Berlari, jantung kamu, denyutan jantung nadi itu sangat kuat. Okay, his heart pounded in excitement. Remember, kalau marah pun kamu boleh tukar saja. Kalau kamu nak huraikan emosi marah itu, excitement, tukarlah tadi anger. His heart pounded in anger as he looked at Miss Grace. Oh, whatever lah, don't be angry at me, okay? So, number 3, and then we have F, which is shock or surprised. I was truly amazed. He was deeply puzzled. So, just kalau tak dapat ayat yang panjang tu, gunakanlah yang depan tu, okay? At least lah adalah vocabulary sikit-sikit. And then pen. Sakitnya tu di sini. Okay, fine. Every jostle sent ripples of pain through his shoulder, his back, and his neck. The pain in his wounded thigh was searing. He doubled over in pain. So all of this is to describe the emotion of pain. Embarrassed, my face flushed reddish red and I stared at my feet. Saya tengoklah kaki saya, hoping no one would notice how embarrassed I was. So just memorize a little bit. I froze. Saya terbeku. Oh wow, I froze like a chicken. I froze. I could feel the heat rising into my cheeks. So your cheeks become very red. Alright? And then you have proud. Whoa, proud. Let's look at number 1. The world fell away, drained of all color but him, standing in the sunlight. Whoa, like a Prince Charming. The mother looked at him with all her might, dengan segala kuasa dia, with proud tears in her eyes. Remember tears, 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 tears. There's the That's the one thing that people always like to write. Tears of happiness, tears of sadness. Oh, okay, just write about it, okay? So, and then we have J. Hungry or tired. He was worn out with fatigue. Oh wow, fatigue, too much tiredness, exhaustion. So, gunakan benda yang berbunga-bunga, ayat berbunga-bunga. Hanya ada kebaikan untuk kamu. Understand or not? And that is the last for describing a person. Now, since you are describing your best friend, of course, maybe you want to start off by describing your best friend in a positive way, or something negative may also happen. Maybe you guys meet in a competition, maybe you guys meet in a group discussion, a study group. I don't know, it depends on your imagination and your creativity, but make sure that in whatever essay that you are writing, make sure that you inserted all the sentences that you have memorized in a logical manner, okay? In a logical manner, okay? Bukanlah study group suddenly your heart pounded with fear. What is happening? Okay, now let's look at the second document that I want to share with you. Descriptive phrases on scenery. Now, scenery is lokasi lah, pemandangan. How do you describe the scenery? Is the scenery good? Where do you guys meet? Is it at a sunrise or a sunset? So here are some sentences that describe sunrise or sunset. The sun rays glinted, bersinar, glinted brightly in the clear waters. Okay, maybe you guys meet near a swimming pool or something. I don't know. And then the sun shone brilliantly and the water in the pond glittered invitingly. So all of this is about sunrise. Now look at sunset. As the sun set, the few thin strips of clouds on the horizon turned shimmering gold. So this, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, this is the more advanced version already, understand or not? This is for students who really want to score an A to put on your CGO SPM. So if you really want to score an A, go ahead and use all these sentences in your essays. For those students yang BI kamu, BI saya teruk lah, saya cuma nak dapat pass saja. Okay, no problem. At least you have the initiative to want to pass in your exam. So let's use the 5 sentence techniques to help you to make simple sentences. But before that, let me go through the document with you first. So there are actually sentences on night time as well, lightning and thunder, rain, and then we have beautiful scenery, sea view, dull scenery, pemandangan yang bosan, and harsh scenery, pemandangan yang harsh, you know, the one that is like very teruk lah. And then we have the street, and then there is the end. Now, with all those sentences in your brain, remember, one emotion is one sentence. Just memorize one sentence enough already. One scenery around sunset, sunrise. Choose one sentence that you think will wow the audience, that will wow your teachers and examiners. Let's start. How to make your story good. Describe the surrounding and environment. From the sky to the ground, dari atas ke bawah, jauh ke dekat. Example, a bad description is, okay, we went to the beach was beautiful, yes, full stop. Okay, you don't have much more, you don't have many marks, that's the end of your mark, bye bye. Okay, full stop. Okay, so let's look at good description. The sky was crystal blue. I could see mountains far away. The sun shone brightly and the clean ocean glittered. There were many people on the beach. There were smiles on their faces. Now if you look closely, semua ayat ini simple saja. Who do what where when? Siapa buat apa di mana bila? So the sky apa? The sky was crystal blue. Saya boleh buat apa? I could see mountains far away. The sun buat apa? Matahari, okay, shone brightly and the clean ocean glittered. Dia buat apa? Dia glittered. There were, or now is the sentence technique number 2. There is, there are. So terdapat, kalau past tense, there were. There were many people on the beach. Di mana? On the beach. Apa yang terdapat di atas muka mereka? Oh, senyuman yang, yes, senyuman manis. So there were smiles on their faces. So you see, ada instant difference in between the bad description and the good description. Just remember, dari jauh ke dekat, atas ke bawah, just use simple sentences is okay already. Okay? Now, let's look at the person. How to describe the person? Describe the people with using actions and emotions that they lay out. Don't just say that, okay, she was happy. How do we know that she is happy? What shows that she was happy? Now, good description is what is her action and how is her emotion. Kamu kena huraikan apa yang berlaku dengan mata dia, dengan muka dia, dengan fizikal dia, badan dia. Apa yang dia buat? Apa yang dia adakah senyuman, adakah dia rasa denyutan nadi. You have to tell me all this in order to be a good descriptor in the essay department. Now let's look at good description. She smiled happily. She bounced into the room. Okay, dia lompat-lompat and lit up the whole room with her smile. Remember, hafal satu ayat yang boleh diguna pakai dalam seluruh essay. Asalkan tengok, okay, ada tempat yang saya boleh huraikan, orang ini sangat gembira, masukkan saja. Okay, she bounced into the room and lit up the whole room with her smile. Kalau lelaki, he bounced into the room. Kalau kanak-kanak, the little boy bounced into the room and lit up the whole room with his smile on, or his laugh. Kamu tengok betapa how flexible is all these sentences. How flexible that you can use. You can make use of these sentences to write a better essay. Okay?